What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Calais Campbell and Grady Jarrett. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So I actually watched today an interview that Calais Campbell did with 92.9 The Game. And he did that interview this week. And he stated in his interview that he believes that Grady Jarrett could possibly win Defensive Player of the Year this season, which I thought was huge coming from Calais Campbell, because Calais Campbell is one of those guys I think that will be a future Hall of Famer. He's a guy that's one sack away from 100 sacks in his career. He's been one of those guys that's been a multiple-time Pro Bowler, won Walter Payton Man of the Year, and has been one of those guys that's been dominant on the defensive line in his generation. When great players talk, I listen. And I definitely think that Calais Campbell, with him stating that Grady Jarrett, he thinks that Grady Jarrett has the talent to possibly win Defensive Player of the Year during the interview that he had. I thought that that was huge. And because I haven't seen Grady Jarrett consistently play with great talent like he has this season on the defensive line, I'm really looking forward to this season and to see how well Grady Jarrett plays. Grady Jarrett has never had a 10-sack season, which would probably shock a lot of NFL fans, because Grady Jarrett is one of those guys that I think could be a dominant player and is a dominant player in the trenches, even though he doesn't have the numbers like a Aaron Donald. He doesn't have the numbers like a Calais Campbell. Throughout his career, he wasn't fortunate enough to play on a lot of great defenses. But I really think this year, with Calais Campbell coming over to the Atlanta Falcons, with us adding the depth that we added in the trenches, I'm really looking forward to seeing Grady Jarrett have a breakout season. I definitely think this season he will have 10+ sacks. I think this will be the first year that he eclipsed double-digit sacks, because he has guys like Calais Campbell, guys like Bud Dupree, on this defensive line, guys like Arnold Ebiketie that's continuing to develop. Because we have some dominant players now on this defensive line around him, guys like David Onyemata, I really think that Grady Jarrett's going to see a lot of single coverage in certain situations, because you can't double team both David Onyemata and Grady Jarrett and Calais Campbell. At some point, something's going to have to give. And I really feel like Grady Jarrett has the skill set to definitely eclipse 10 sacks. And I think this will be his first time doing it in his career. But I'm not too sure if he'll win Defensive Player of the Year, because to win that award, you have to have crazy sack totals. Like, you have to have 15.5 sacks or more. Aaron Donald has had some seasons where he's had 20 sacks in one season. Now, I wouldn't put it past Grady Jarrett, because he does have a skill set similar to Aaron Donald. But I'm really excited just to see how well Grady Jarrett plays this season, because he's never had that depth since 2016 when we went to the Super Bowl. That was the last time that this Falcons team had depth in the trenches. And we seen in that Super Bowl game, I believe Grady Jarrett had 2.5 sacks against Tom Brady, and the Patriots had one of the best Super Bowl performances of all time from a defensive tackle. And I really think this season he's going to have a really big year and could break out this season because he has the help around him. And I always talk about you're only as good as your weakest link. You're only as good as the players around you. And I really feel like the Falcons and Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith, the front office did a great job of not only building around Desmond Ridder on the offensive side of the ball, but I think they've done a great job of also building around Grady Jarrett on the defensive side of the ball. They promised after last season, when Grady stated that he needed more help in the trenches and on the defensive side of the ball, they made it their business to bring in guys like Jesse Bates, bring in guys like Calais Campbell. And I really think that Grady's going to pay those guys back. And because Grady Jarrett is the face of this Atlanta Falcons team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I expect him to come out and have a really big year, a breakout season. But you guys give me your thoughts on Grady Jarrett. Do you think that he'll win Defensive Player of the Year this season? Personally, I don't believe he'll win Defensive Player of the Year because, I know he has to have some crazy numbers to actually do it. But I do think that he'll have a breakout season, and I wouldn't be shocked if he did break out and have one of those seasons where he could be like a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. But I do, wish Grady nothing but the best. And I definitely think he deserves everything he gets because he's been one of those guys year in, year out on that defensive side of the ball that's been one of the most dominant interior pass rushers, interior disruptors in the run game. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. We inching closer and closer to Sunday, the first game of the season. The first NFL game kicks off this evening. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed, peace.